Let's just jump right into it. Welcome to this explainer, where we are going to finally tackle what is, without a doubt, the biggest, most hotly contested conundrum in modern sports history. Yep, we're talking about the heavyweight bout between Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. For over 15 years now, this question, who is the true GOAT, the greatest of all time, has completely dominated five-a-side pitches, local pubs, and living rooms all over the globe. It's one of those debates where, personal loyalties and nostalgia can seriously cloud our judgment. But today, we are stripping all the emotion away. We're going to dive purely into the hard numbers, the actual hardware they've won, and the undeniable footprint these two absolute legends have left on the beautiful game.
Okay, so here is our fight card for today's breakdown. We'll be looking at 1. The goal-scoring machines, 2. Playmaking and assists, 3. Club trophies and awards, 4. The international stage, and finally, Section 5, who is the GOAT?
All right, round one, the goal-scoring machines, pure firepower. We're kicking things off by going head-to-head on the thing these two do better than anyone else in history, finding the back of the net. I mean, just take a second and let this number sink in. 977 goals. That is Cristiano Ronaldo's mind-boggling all-time career tally across 1,331 appearances. To even get close to a figure like that, you have to be way more than just naturally talented, right? You have to have this almost alien level of fitness, ridiculous longevity, and honestly, an absolute obsession with scoring. Ronaldo has just kept this production going year after year across top leagues in England, Spain, Italy, and now Saudi Arabia. He literally adapted his entire game as he aged just to stay this lethal force inside the penalty box. As it's been said before, he is just unstoppable. Pure finish. Ronaldo is the ultimate relentless goal-scoring machine. He's got this drive that has absolutely terrified defenders for, over 2 decades now? Whether it's a simple tap-in, an absolute rocket from way outside the box, or one of those crazy gravity-defying leaps he does, when he locks his eyes on the goal, it just feels inevitable.
But right on his heels is Lionel Messi. He's sitting on a truly incredible 923 all-time career goals, and he's done it in just 1,170 appearances. So while Ronaldo has that slight edge in pure volume, Messi's total is just staggering, especially when you consider his play style. I mean, he's a guy who regularly drops way deep into the midfield to orchestrate the entire play, rather than just hovering on the shoulder of the last defender waiting for service.
Now, this is where things get really fascinating. Let's look at the efficiency. So Ronaldo edges out in total volume, and yeah, he benefits a bit from starting his senior career 2 years earlier and playing over 160 more games. But Messi actually holds a slight advantage in scoring frequency. He finds the net every 104 minutes, compared to Ronaldo's 111 minutes. Now, 7 minutes might not sound like a huge deal, but stretch that over a massive 1,000-game career, that slight edge really adds up and shows a super interesting contrast in how often they strike.
And if we break down exactly how they score, it paints such a vivid picture of their contrasting styles. It's like a totally different approach to the same job. Messi relies incredibly heavily on that magical left foot of his. I mean, 776 of his goals come from it. He just weaves through these impossibly tight spaces, using that left foot like a literal wand. Ronaldo, on the flip side, is the quintessential complete athlete. He is an ambidextrous nightmare for goalkeepers with 631 right-footed goals, 186 left-footed goals, and a crazy 157 headers. So basically, Ronaldo owns the airspace while Messi reigns supreme whenever the ball is glued to the turf.
Moving into round 2, playmaking and assists, the creators. Because let's be real, being the greatest isn't just about finishing a play. It's so often about creating something entirely out of nothing.
So the crucial differentiator here, for sure, is Messi's absolute dominance as a playmaker. We're talking 420 official Opta assists across his career. Ronaldo has a highly respectable 261, but it's just significantly lower. While Ronaldo kind of evolved into the ultimate pure finisher, Messi somehow managed to balance historic goal scoring with being, probably the greatest passer of his entire generation. This idea of him having mutant fly-eye vision just hits the nail on the head. Messi doesn't just put the ball in the net, he's like an architect out there, orchestrating entire attacks. He sees passing lanes that literally do not exist for anyone else on the pitch. When you watch Messi, you're watching a guy who seems just as happy, perfectly threading a 50-yard through ball, as he is dribbling past 3 defenders to score it himself. Okay, when you actually combine both goals and assists into one overall metric of offensive output, the numbers are, they're almost comical. Messi contributes to a goal every 72 minutes.
Mathematically speaking, if Messi is on the pitch for a full 90-minute match, he is practically guaranteed to either score or assist. Ronaldo is right there, contributing every 88 minutes, which also ensures nearly a goal contribution every single game he plays. It just goes to show how both of these guys are complete offensive titans, operating at a level of consistency the sport had literally never seen before them.
All right, round 3. Club trophies and awards, the hardware. Stats are fun, but football is ultimately about winning, right? Let's check out the trophy cabinets. When you look at the absolute highest honors, it is a crazy tight race. For the Ballon d'Or, the ultimate individual prize in the sport, Messi takes the lead with a record 8 awards to Ronaldo's 5. Messi also completely dominates domestically. He's got 13 league titles from his time at Barcelona and PSG, compared to Ronaldo's 7. Though, to be fair to Ronaldo, he famously won his across 3 different top-flight leagues, in England, Spain, and Italy. But when we talk about Europe's biggest stage, Ronaldo is literally known as Mr. Champions League for a reason. He edges Messi out with 5 Champions League titles to Messi's 4, and he holds the record for the most goals in the history of the competition.
Next up, round 4, the international stage. For the longest time, the only real critique anyone could throw at these two was whether they could actually carry the massive expectations of their home countries, Portugal and Argentina.
Looking at the sheer volume of international duty, Ronaldo is the undisputed king. He boasts a mind-bending 146 goals in 233 caps. By breaking Ali Daei's old record, Ronaldo became the top international goal scorer in the entire history of men's football. Now, Messi is certainly no slouch. He sits right behind him as the second highest of all time, with 125 goals in 207 caps. But Ronaldo's absolute appetite for scoring for Portugal has set records that, frankly, we might never see broken.
But when we pivot to the World Cup specifically, the absolute pinnacle of the sport, the dynamic shifts. Both of them have played in a staggering 5 World Cups. Yet Messi shines the brightest here. He's got 13 World Cup goals, an unmatched 2 Golden Balls for being the tournament's best player, and, of course, he finally lifted the ultimate crown in 2022. Ronaldo fought his heart out across his 5 tournaments, scoring 8 goals, but just couldn't quite push Portugal into that elusive global final.
At the end of the day, though, both men conquered their continents and completely silenced the doubters. Ronaldo brought home iconic victories for Portugal, winning the European Championship in 2016 and then the Nations League. And Messi, after years of absolutely heartbreaking final defeats, he broke his international curse in the most spectacular way possible, winning back-to-back Copa Americas, the Finalissima, an Olympic gold, and that 2022 World Cup. They both delivered the ultimate glory to their nations. Which brings us to round 5, the verdict. We've gone blow for blow through the insane stats, the totally contrasting play styles, the club hardware, and those international triumphs. Seeing their overall offensive footprint side by side like this really just puts their entire careers into perspective. Over the last 2 decades, Messi has delivered 1,343 total direct goal contributions, and Ronaldo is sitting right there with a monumental 1,238. I mean, these numbers are so far beyond any normal benchmark for a world-class player that it almost borders on the absurd. More than anything, looking at this just proves how incredibly lucky we are to have existed in an era where we got to watch both of them push each other to absolute greatness. So, after all that, I have to turn it over to you. On one side, you have the relentless, adaptable, sheer, physical goal-scoring machine. On the other side, you have the magical, highly efficient, visionary playmaker. Take all this data, weigh up the trophies, look at the efficiency, and decide for yourself. When the dust finally settles on the greatest rivalry in sports history, who is your GOAT?